Hey guys, it's me, Patty again, the one half of Bunchy, who's currently has this account as a secret account in a way to show my best friend Jess that I'm serious about Bunchy Scrunch. So, I wanted to do a video on how to thread the machine. Here's the thing. I'm not a technical gal. I don't know technical words, but hopefully someone just like me with my kind of brain, like the way I interpret information, will also like this kind of video. So what we're going to do first is you have to have these items. So what you're going to need is a bobbin. In Australia, we just get these from Spotlight in a packet of, say, 20 or 30. So that is the bobbin that I have. That is the bobbin lid. You're just going to need some cotton. Again, we just get this from Spotlight. And then this is my little boop boop holder. I don't know what it's called. Again, like I said, I'm not a technical person. I really know how to use a sewing machine, but I'm not an overly technical person. So that's what you're going to need to be able to do this. Okay, so now I've showed you what you need. What we're going to do next is obviously grab your sewing machine. I have the Singer Heavy Duty sewing machine. Sorry, that is the sound of my foot pedals scraping down the bottom. You don't need to worry about that. And now we're going to, we have to obviously thread our bobbin. So what I'm going to do is you're going to first place the bobbin on, so you're going to put your bobbin on this. You're going to make sure that your hole is, because there's two little holes in there. I don't know if you can see that. Holes in there, but yes, so you're going to pop your little bobby on that. You're going to grab your thread. You're going to place your thread on this, and then, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is, so now what you have to do is thread the top of the machine. So then what we're going to do is you're going to follow the numbers that's on your machine. So the numbers are really good indicators. And we're lost the chair. So it goes 1, so perfect. Let's just follow number 1. Number 2, perfect. I'm going to wrap number 2 into there. And then this is technically number 3. There's nothing there to say so, but then you're going to follow that diagram. So we're going to wrap it around like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab the end of the thread there, and you're going to thread it up inside that bobbin. You could probably do this actually while it's off the stick. That might be much easier. I'm sorry, I didn't think of that. So we're going to thread it up through there. There we go. Don't let go of that end like what I just did earlier. And then you're going to squish her on there. You're going to hold this. It doesn't have to be much. Click her into place. And then what you're going to do is just start to put your, make sure your machine's on. You're going to start to put your pedal on. Okay. And then you're just going to turn it on like so. And I'm just holding my foot down, and now I'm letting go of that top string, which I can just cut off later. Oh, you can hold it sometimes. You can also cut it back. Just hold your foot down until it's full. Perfect. Alrighty, so next what we're going to do, I'm just going to twist slightly here. So now that's done, perfect. We're just going to click that back. So you're clicking it back. We're going to release her from the little map that was going here. Boom. Boom. Sorry. I say a lot of unnecessary sorries. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm just going to use a little trimmer on the side of the machine just to cut her off. And then you have threaded your bobbin. So that is your bobbin, all threaded, which is really good. So Now I'm going to show you how to thread the machine itself to get to start sewing. So you're going to remove her off your top part there. We are going to grab our little cap that I mentioned earlier. You're going to pop that on there like so. And then I like to make sure mine is going clockwise. Don't ask me why. I just prefer it to go clockwise. Beautiful. And then we're going to follow the map once again. So you're going to go to 1, then through to 2. Now this is the loop, so you're going to go down and follow the number 3. So we're going down, and then you're going to follow the number. Then you're going to follow the number 4. And then we're going back up. Now this part right here, hook behind here, and then there's a second hook that you're going to hook. It's very hard to do this one-handed. You're going to hook behind that second hook like so. I might get my husband to record this part. Recording. Okay, so once you're over this hook, you're then going to just guide it to this part just here. Okay, beautiful. And then what you're going to do is you're going to thread it through the needle hole there. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I know some sewing machines come with a threader. I actually think I do own one of those, but we're just going to do this the old school way. Then you just have to thread it through like so. Beautiful. It's okay if you don't get this the first time. Everything's a practice. Then you're going to put it underneath the foot like that and kind of leave it hanging off the back like so. Now we get to the bobbin part. So you can see inside here, this is your bobbin hole. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to, again, we're going clockwise. So I grab the string going clockwise. I pop the bobbin into there. I then am going to, do you see these little side nubs here? I'm going to scoop it up underneath so, and then I'm going to put the little bobbin lid under. Then what we're going to do is you're going to hold the string that's going through the needle, the string needle only. And then you're going to turn this big guy back here. That one. You're going to turn this anti-clockwise. And what it's going to do is scoop up the bobbin thread and feed it through. So here we go. We're just rolling it in. We're giving a slight bit of tug. Perfect. Here it comes. And there she is. And then you can use something small. I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. I can see the loop that the bobbin's made. And I'm just going to pull her through. And just like that, you've intertwined your two together. And she's ready to be sewn. What I'm going to show you next is the settings I use. So my thread tension, my needle position, and my thread width. And this is for scrunchies. I do this when I sew zip-up pouches. But yeah, so I'll show you what I use there. Okay, so I have my width on 3. I have my, let's just let that focus. I have my needle position in that middle one. And then I have, sorry guys, I'm not very technologically advanced. And then I have my tension set at 4. And this works really well for all types of scrunchies. And then I have my width length set just kind of in between the 3 and the 2. And then this is obviously, you can choose any kind of stitches. So the only time you want to really move your needle thread over is, say, like I want to sew something that involves like moving it over. I can do that. See? Okay, well now I want to, like, it's hard to reach on that side, or I want it to be closer to that seam. So that's what that's for, but I just use the middle one. Alrighty guys, so that is how I thread my machine. It's all ready to go for me to start sewing. I hope that was helpful. I explained it the best way I know how. I'm very good, like I said, with troubleshooting sewing machines. and I've been able to help Jessica with that kind of stuff. And then next, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I will upload a video on how to sew a scrunchie. Like I said, I would not be sharing the measurements of a Bunchy, but I will share the measurements that helped me start off sewing scrunchies. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited to show you guys how to sew a Bunchy. In regards to updates on Jessica, she still doesn't know about this channel. Shh. We do not tell Jessica. And I'm still building up videos, and I've been posting, and I'm really proud of myself for that because that is not my niche and I'm not good at that type of stuff. So pat on the back to me, and I just want to say thank you so much to my 5 subscribers. I appreciate your follow so much, and I'm so excited for you all to watch me get back into sewing. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Bye.